Hello everyone, welcome to Climax Recaps. At the beginning of this film, a story is told about dragons, in which a girl takes birth after each 500 years. When that girl will reach at her age of 20 years, then she will be awarded with the divine power. Through it she can also transform a snake into a giant dragon. The pious snake will use that power to protect universe and humanity. But the wicked snake will use this power to ruin this world. Now that time had come after 500 years. After this, it is seen that there was a great destruction in a city. It was seeming a spaceship has crashed here. Many reporters and police officers had also arrived there. Then a man is seen who was talking about a prophecy that it is going to prove true. Afterwards, a boy named Ethan is shown, and he was also a reporter. He records a clip of that place. But he feels while taking footage that he has already seen that mark which is at this place. But it is not in his memory where he had witnessed it. After this, Ethan moves go his office. He was also noticing the same mark there, and he was thinking about this. Then he casts his glance at his locket. Before 5 years, a man named Jack had given to him when Ethan was a kid. Who was Jack now? We will know about him further. Now Ethan was thinking it that this story has such type of the connection with that story, which had been told to Ethan before 15 years by a Jack. After this, the story moves to the flashback 15 years ago, when Ethan was young and he had gone to a shop along with his father. And the owner of that shop was the same man named Jack. When Ethan is exploring that shop, suddenly, a box opens before Ethan. And light emits from that box. Ethan also notices a mark in that box, which was similar to the mark which he witnessed recently. So Ethan was thinking that he has also witnessed this mark before. Afterwards, the shop owner Jack reacts as such, as he is suffering from heart attack. Doing so, he sends Ethan's father outside, because he wanted to talk with Ethan on important topic in loneliness. Jack tells Ethan, the light that you have witnessed, it belongs to the legendary creature. And it has emitted from the heaven. Then Ethan asks Jack, who is a Mugi? Then Jack tells him that a Mugi is a legendary creature, about which it has been told in the ancient stories of Korea, which is transformed into a giant dragon after getting power. There were found many snakes named Amugis in the heaven, which used to live with their great groups in heaven. Each good Amugi was used to award for its good deed after each 500 years. That snake used to get a chance to transform into a giant dragon. But Amugi had to get the heavenly power before it, because he could transform from snake into a giant dragon through this power. There was also an evil snake among those good snakes. Its name was Baraki, and he also expected to get that heavenly power. Baraki's army was also very powerful with it, and they could also get the heavenly power. But no one wished it in the heaven that evil snake Baraki may get this power. And it was the cause that heavenly power had been concealed. Then the scene shifts to Korea, where the time of 1507 is shown, where heavenly power is dropped into a house. And it is the house of the head of that village. Afterwards, that leader has the birth of his daughter, who possessed that heavenly power. As a result, that little girl had also a red dragon mark on her shoulder. But his father or leader was unaware about this power, where a bold warrior and a master are also sent with the leader's daughter, so she may protect that heavenly power from that evil snake Baraki. But Baraki had got awareness about it. Where has the heavenly power eventually been hidden? Then that master meets the leader of the village, and he tells him, your daughter possesses the heavenly powers. After this, that leader's daughter and that warrior are shown. Now that warrior and leader's daughter had started to develop the affections for each other. After it, that master accompanies that warrior to make him meet with the good Amugi, where that master hands over that warrior a locket, which was for the security of the good Amugi, which had been created in heaven. Now that master tells that warrior here, after a few days, leader's daughter will reach at the age of 20 years old. Then Baraki, with its army, will also come to get the powers. You will have to be ready for this. Now that day had arrived. When leader's daughter had reached at her age of 20. Where Baraki attacks village with its group. He also searches for the daughter of leader's daughter. When he is taking the leader's daughter with him, then that master and warrior attack Baraki and its group. After this, that warrior flees, taking leader's daughter. Where master alone is fighting with the soldiers of Baraki. Now that warrior goes away, taking leader's daughter and leaving that locket there. That warrior had violated the rules and regulation of heaven after doing so. After this, Baraki also chases them. But they both as leader's daughter and that warrior commit suicide, jumping from a mountain. Later, it is seen that a Jack gives the same locket to Ethan, which had been given to his warrior before 500 years by his master. Because Ethan is the warrior who belonged to 500 years ago. And Jack is master. Jack is telling to little Ethan, at this time, the heavenly power will descend to the girl, her name will be Sarah. And there will be a red dragon mark on her shoulder like leader's daughter. Then Jack instructs to Ethan, you will have to search for Sarah. After this, the scene is shifted to the current time. Where Ethan asks his friend to get information about Sarah. Then a girl is seen in the gym center whose name is Sarah. Then Sarah watches a footage on TV created by Ethan. And she leaves that place, witnessing the same mark on Earth. Afterwards, Sarah's friend comes on the scene who was going to her house. Sarah's friend notices, going to her house, that Sarah has stuck the mysterious posters on her house walls. There was the Korean statement written on it. Sarah was also depressed at this moment. And she was also confused. Sarah's friend takes her to the club to relax her. After sometimes, Sarah also leaves that place. Where some gangsters try to disturb her on the way. Where an old man rescues Sarah, coming there. And that old man was not anyone else but Jack. Later, the security guard of Zoo is shown who was sleeping. Then he hears the growling of the elephants. He glimpses as he goes for checking, where a giant snake was eating an elephant. He was no one else but Baraki, who had returned with everyone after 500 years. So he may get the heavenly powers. After this, Sarah is seen at the police station. Where police was suspecting that Sarah has ended those gangsters. But Sarah tells them about that old man that he had rescued her. But police officers do not believe Sarah. After it, a reporter comes there to interview Sarah. And this reporter of Ethan. After this, Ethan goes to meet a Jack. But there was not Jack, but the cruel general. When Ethan asks him about a Jack. Then he says that a Jack has gone outside for an important task. Suddenly, all things of that place begin to fly in the air. Then Ethan is awakened all of a sudden. He understands from this that it was his dream, what he actually witnessed right now. Afterwards, Ethan comes to his friend to know about that Sarah. Then Ethan's that friend reporter also approaches there, who had gone to interview Sarah at the police station. And he begins to tell about Sarah coming here. Then Ethan becomes doubtful by his conversation that he is the same as Sarah, who is being searched. After this, Sarah is dreaming, where she checks that cruel general is attacking him. At the same time, Sarah is awakened. Now his dragon mark side begins to pain. Afterwards, Sarah calls for ambulance. Then Sarah is admitted in the hospital. Sarah's friend also comes at the hospital to meet her. But Sarah is not allowed to meet them. Then her two friends visit at her house to take her important commodities. But Baraki and the evil general kill them, coming there. Later, Ethan becomes aware about that incident. But Ethan was thinking here that Sarah has died. Going there, he knows that Sarah's friends have been killed. Sarah is admitted in the hospital. Then Ethan goes to the same hospital to meet her. But he is also not allowed to meet Sarah. Ethan meets a doctor there who was the friend of Ethan. So that doctor allows him to meet Sarah. Sarah says to him when he meets Sarah, the bad happenings are going to occur in future. Then Ethan completes her statement saying, "The evil has started." Then it is seen that Abaraki has come in hospital while searching Sarah. Coming there, that Ethan's friend Doctor helps him and Sarah to escape from there. Then it is known here that Doctor was not anyone else but Jack. Baraki attacks them here on the way. And they are also caught by the evil general. But a lady helps them while coming there. There is again shown here that lady was not another person but Jack, who had approached there to help them, disguising a lady. On the other side, that evil general gathers his army. After this, Sarah and Ethan come on the scene, who were sharing their secrets with each other. Then a few agents are shown, where their head asks one of the agents about the occurred accidents in the city, where one of the agents tells his head an old story. But their head does not believe in these stories. Later, they get all the details about Sarah, because they were thinking that Sarah is behind all the incident which is happening. Afterwards, many soldiers are seen who go to attack Baraki. But Baraki kills all there. Then Baraki takes Sarah to the hypnotherapist, in order to know about the dreams of Sarah, where Sarah dreams of his father at the very beginning who is no more. Then Sarah glimpses of past time before 500 years ago, through which she is able to recall each and everything. At the same time, Baraki reaches there. Then Ethan now leaves with Sarah from there. Baraki still follows them, but they remain able to escape from there. After this, Ethan asks his friend to arrange an helicopter after calling. After this, they meet in a restaurant. Ethan meets with Jack in its lavatory. Jack recalls Ethan about that incident, when he had violated the rules and regulation of the heaven. Jack says to him, "You will have to carry out your mission at this time." Afterwards, it is seen that Baraki reaches in that restaurant. But the entire police force attacks Baraki before he is able to attack them. Later, Ethan moves to the helicopter, taking Sarah. When the helicopter is going to fly, then Baraki pulls it downward. Then Sarah and Ethan immediately jumps from the helicopter. Later, Baraki is attacked through the helicopter. Then Sarah and Ethan leave that place, getting the chance of it. On the other side, evil general sends his soldiers to search for Sarah. Then all dragons and animals begin to devastate the whole city, where many dragons attack Ethan and Sarah's van, coming there. Due to this, their car faces a fatal accident. Then those dragons take them along with them, appearing there, where they had bound Ethan there and they were taking Sarah away for sacrifice. At the same time, Baraki is also called there. Ethan shouts loudly here, so his ropes are untied because of the power of his locket. Due to this, all dragons and the soldiers are turned into dust, and they are lost. Consequently, Baraki also loses his consciousness. Afterwards, Ethan goes to rescue Sarah. But evil general attacks them, coming there. But that evil general also meets his end because of the power of Ethan's locket. After this, Baraki falls Ethan down, approaching there. And he begins go attack Sarah. Then Amugi also reaches there. And he begins to fight with Baraki. But Baraki defeats Amugi here. After this, Sarah awards her heavenly power to Amugi. In this way, Sarah is knocked out. Because Amugi had attained the heavenly power, so Baraki is flown into rage. And he attacks Amugi. But Amugi is transformed into a giant dragon after getting the power. Then a great fight is started among them, where Amugi kills Baraki at the end. Afterwards, it is seen that Sarah is also ended. Amugi's heavenly powers and Sarah are united here. Sarah gives her words to Ethan before her departure, that we will be united again. Afterwards, Amugi returns to heaven after seizing the heavenly powers. Jack says to Ethan, "We are lucky that we have been chosen for this mission." Saying it, Jack is also flown into the air after turning into dust. Ethan farewells Ethan here. And here this film is end. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.